This is Radio 2 on the BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM.
BBC News at 6 o'clock. This is Anthony Birchley. Votes are being counted in Turkey's most significant and closely fought election in decades. Turks are choosing a new president and a new parliament. A victory for the secular opposition candidate Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu would end the 20-year rule of Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Inflation there is running at more than 40%, and as our correspondent in Istanbul, Selin Girit, explains, it's a pressing issue for voters.
People feel the cost of living crisis, people feel the ache in their pockets, and that has actually been the very determinant factor in people's decision, in how people decided to vote today. Many say it was an economic crisis that brought Mr. Erdogan to power, and it could be an economic crisis that could bring him down.
Labour's considering proposals to change the voting system if they win the next election. The party said no final decisions had been made, but that voting rights in general elections could be given to many EU nationals that have settled in the UK, as well as to 16 and 17-year-olds. Myanmar and southern Bangladesh have been hit by a powerful cyclone which has forced hundreds of thousands of people to flee their homes. Gusts of more than 125 miles per hour have destroyed buildings, cut communications and caused severe flooding. Thousands of households in West Sussex have been without water since earlier this morning because of a failure at a supply plant. Southern Water said it had shut down the site at Hardham because low levels of chlorine had been detected. The local Conservative MP, Andrew Griffith, has called for urgent supplies of water to be delivered to the area. Football, and Chelsea have won the Women's FA Cup in front of a record crowd at Wembley. They beat Manchester United 1-0 thanks to a goal from Sam Kerr.
Pernille Harder has made a difference and she's in again, right hand side, pulls it across to Sam Kerr! And there is the opener for Chelsea in the Women's FA Cup final. And who is it? Of course, it's Sam Kerr, scoring once again on the biggest stage of all, and the backflip celebration to go with it as well. She bangs the Chelsea badge on her chest.
The BAFTA Television Awards are underway at London's Royal Festival Hall, hosted by Radio 2's Rob Beckett and Romesh Ranganathan. Cillian Murphy, Gary Oldman, Kate Winslet and Sarah Lancashire are among those up for acting prizes. Maxine Peake's been nominated for Best Actress for her portrayal of the Hillsborough campaigner Anne Williams in the ITV miniseries Anne.
It was a privilege. You've just got to look at it like that, and you know, by the grace of God, that, you know, something that I'm so removed from in many ways, you know, but to be given the opportunity to walk in those shoes, in Anne's shoes in the way that I did it was a real honour.
And the weather turning drier and clearer in most places tonight as a band of rain clears to the east. However, rain will linger in the southeast of England and there'll be more showers in northwestern areas. That's the latest BBC News at 6:03. Let's get the travel news with Orna.
Anthony, thank you. In the Scottish Highlands, the A95, well, it's still closed near the Adventure Park, which is near Kinvici, between there and the Inverness turn at Granish. It's been there for quite a while. Investigation work still underway. North Lanarkshire, the M73 and northbound Junction 2A at Gartcosh. Another accident there and the road's partly blocked. And the M56 has been closed all weekend in Cheshire between 12 at Runcorn and 11 at Preston Brook. It's for weekend roadworks, but the queues have been on the surrounding routes, although at the moment we're not doing too badly on those. So the A537 Western Point Expressway, that's still looking slow, and the biggest queue, it's the M56 eastbound heading towards the closure from 14 at Chester Services. Then weekend work going on the M6 in Warwickshire as well, which has been closed northbound, and that's heading from the M42 at 4 up to Junction 6 at the Spaghetti Junction past Birmingham. So the queues have been on the M42 southbound as well, approaching the M6 at Junction 4. Then Powys, the A470 is blocked in both directions by an accident between Brecon and Coombe Cadlin. Then Oxford, it's the A34, more weekend work, so southbound, that closure in from the Pear Tree interchange of the A44 to the Hinksey Hill interchange of the A423. The A12, the latest, it's the weekend work which is still going on. So between 12 and 16, Mount Nessing and Gallywood, that closure is still in northbound. Bedfordshire queues on the M1 southbound is looking slow now, around 13 at Bedford. Not too bad in London really, just the usual routes, but it has been busy heading towards the Blackwall Tunnel on the northbound side. Back with your next one in an hour.
Thank you very much, Orna, and thank you, Anthony.
Now, Gabby Roslin. Listen live on the BBC Sounds app.